Every time we sit down to eat, we're doing something far more powerful than just satisfying hunger. We're giving our body instructions, a code, if you will, that tells our cells how to behave. And what's fascinating is that certain foods can actually whisper to our cells, telling them to stay healthy, to repair, and in some cases, to fight back against disease itself. For a long time, people believed that treating cancer was only about surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. But what if I told you that one of the most potent weapons against cancer could be found right in your kitchen? The science has revealed that there are foods capable of cutting off the blood supply that cancer needs to grow. Imagine that. Feeding your body foods that literally starve cancer cells of the fuel they need to survive. Let's start with something simple, the humble tomato. It's rich in lycopene, a natural compound that helps starve tumors by preventing the formation of new blood vessels that feed them. When you cook tomatoes with a little olive oil, you unlock even more of that power, making lycopene more available to your body. It's not just a fruit anymore. It's a tool for defense. And then there's green tea. People have been drinking it for thousands of years, but only recently have we understood its molecular magic. It contains catechins, which target cancer cells' ability to grow new vessels, cutting off their lifeline. What's even more remarkable is that these compounds can also help your healthy cells stay resilient, improving the balance in your system so that the body can naturally resist disease. Berries are another extraordinary ally. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, they're loaded with natural chemicals that fight inflammation, protect DNA, and stop the signals that allow cancer cells to multiply uncontrollably. Every handful you eat sends a powerful message to your body: stay strong, stay protected. Now let's talk about leafy greens: spinach, kale, arugula. These are packed with chlorophyll and natural antioxidants that protect your cells from damage and slow down the formation of cancer, supporting environments in your body. They help maintain the oxygen balance, keeping your tissues healthy and your immune system alert. Even spices, those tiny pinches of flavor, can make a tremendous difference. Turmeric, for example, contains curcumin, which has been shown to disrupt cancer cell pathways. It's not just about adding color to your food. It's about adding protection. Combine it with a little black pepper, and the effect multiplies. Then we have mushrooms, not the ordinary kind you find on pizza, but varieties like shiitake, maitake, and reishi. These mushrooms contain compounds that can enhance your immune system's ability to detect and destroy abnormal cells before they ever form into something dangerous. Think of them as natural sentinels quietly patrolling your body. And don't forget fruits like apples and pomegranates. They contain polyphenols that help calm the body's environment, reducing oxidative stress and preventing the small cellular mistakes that can lead to tumor formation. When you bite into an apple, you're not just enjoying a snack. You're fueling your body's defense network. The beauty of this science is that it isn't about restriction, it's about empowerment. You don't have to live in fear of disease when you understand that your fork, your plate, and your choices are part of your medicine. When you choose foods that starve cancer, you're giving your body the tools it needs to protect you, naturally, gently, and effectively. Every meal can become a chance to heal, to protect, to strengthen. It's not about a miracle cure, it's about the quiet, consistent power of nourishing your body with what nature already designed to keep you well. So, the next time you eat, think of it not just as a meal, but as a message. One that tells your body, I'm on your side. I'm giving you what you need to fight back. When we talk about fighting disease, the conversation often turns to med treatments or technology. But deep within our biology lies an ancient truth. The body is designed to heal itself. Every day, your system is quietly repairing, rebuilding, and defending you against invisible threats. The real question is, are you giving it what it needs to do that job? Because the truth is, every bite you take can either strengthen your body's defense systems or weaken them. And when it comes to cancer, that's a choice that matters more than most people realize. Inside your body, there's a natural process called angiogenesis, the growth of new blood vessels. Normally, this is a good thing. You need new vessels to heal wounds, to grow, to regenerate. But cancer knows how to hijack this process. It tricks your body into growing new vessels to feed its own growth. It demands nourishment, oxygen, nutrients, energy, and the body, unaware of the threat, complies. But here's where it gets exciting. Certain foods can stop this process in its tracks. They can prevent the blood vessels that feed cancer from ever forming, effectively starving it to death. This isn't science fiction, it's one of the most compelling discoveries in nutritional science. Take soy, for instance. People have debated soy for years, but the truth is that natural, minimally processed soy, edamame tofu soy milk, contains bioactive compounds called genistein and daidzein. These compounds can block angiogenesis and slow down the signals that cancer cells use to build their blood supply. It's like cutting off the roads that lead to a growing city. Without them, the city can't expand. Then there's red grapes, rich in a compound called resveratrol, found mostly in the skin. A resveratrol has the remarkable ability to interfere with the growth of abnormal cells and disrupt their attempt to form a lifeline through new blood vessels. Even moderate consumption of red grapes or pure grape juice can help fortify your body's natural defense against the earliest stages of tumor growth. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and other cruciferous vegetables are another class of natural defenders. When you chew them, they release a molecule called sulforaphane, a powerful compound that not only helps detoxify harmful substances in your body, but also triggers your cells to activate protective enzymes that can disarm cancer-causing agents. These vegetables don't just feed you, they train your cells to become stronger, more vigilant, and more efficient at eliminating potential threats. Garlic and onions, staples in so many cuisines, are loaded with sulfur compounds that have been shown to suppress the growth of cancer cells. They can help your liver detoxify carcinogens and also have anti-inflammatory properties that keep the internal environment of your body balanced. It's fascinating to think that something so simple, so accessible, can make such a profound difference in how your body defends itself. Even something as ordinary as coffee, when consumed in moderation, has compounds that can support your body's anti-cancer defenses. A chlorogenic acid and other natural antioxidants in coffee have been linked to lower risks of certain cancers. The key is balance, using food as medicine, not excess. Now, consider seafood like salmon, sardines, and anchovies. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which play a powerful role in reducing inflammation and disrupting the signaling that cancer cells depend on to spread. Cancer loves inflammation. It thrives in that environment. But when you lower inflammation through diet, you create a body that's less friendly to disease and more supportive of healing. There's also something remarkable about nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. They contain lignans and healthy fats that stabilize hormones, protect DNA, and prevent the oxidation that leads to cellular damage. They're small, but they're mighty, delivering a continuous dose of nourishment that reinforces the resilience of your cells. Dark chocolate, rich in natural flavonols, can also support your vascular health. When your blood vessels function properly, your body can regulate growth signals more effectively, preventing cancer from hijacking that system. But, of course, it's about choosing the right kind. High-quality dark chocolate with a high cocoa content and low sugar. It's not about indulgence, it's about using nature's gifts strategically. Now, let's look at the human body as a network, a living system where every cell communicates. Cancer tries to break that communication, to isolate cells so it can grow unchecked. But the right foods help restore that communication. They send messages through your bloodstream that reinforce health, repair DNA, and shut down the chaos that cancer thrives on. Think of your immune system as an orchestra. Every part has a role: the strings, percussion, the brass. When everything is in tune, the music is harmonious. Your immune system detects and destroys threats efficiently. But when it's out of balance, the harmony breaks. The cancer cells take advantage of that disharmony. The right foods bring the orchestra back into tune. They don't just fight cancer directly, they help your body remember how to defend itself. Whole grains like oats, barley, and brown rice provide fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut. Those bacteria aren't just there for digestion, they're part of your immune system. When your gut is healthy, your body produces short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and improve immune function. A healthy gut creates a stronger frontline defense against disease. Olive oil, a staple in many traditional diets, is another quiet hero. Rich in polyphenols and healthy fats, it has been shown to reduce the risk of cancers, especially those related to inflammation and oxidative stress. A drizzling olive oil over your vegetables doesn't just make them taste better. It activates the compounds within them, making their nutrients more bioavailable. Even herbs like rosemary, thyme, and oregano carry natural anti-cancer compounds. Carnosic acid, found in rosemary, has been shown to inhibit the growth of cancer cells in lab studies. These herbs are small but mighty, turning ordinary meals into powerful defenses. But here's the truth: no single food is a miracle. The real power comes from synergy, how foods work together. When you eat a rainbow of plants, you're combining thousands of compounds that interact in ways we're only beginning to understand. One nutrient protects your DNA, another slows down blood vessel growth, another boosts your immune cells. Together, they form a symphony of defense. It's important to remember that cancer doesn't appear overnight. It grows silently, sometimes over years, fed by imbalances, inflammation, and poor diet. But every day, your body is also fighting back. Every moment, your immune cells are searching, identifying, and destroying threats. When you eat foods that support that process, you tip the balance in your favor. For women, these seeds can be especially beneficial. The plant-based phytoestrogens found in pumpkin seeds help balance hormones naturally, easing symptoms of menopause and supporting bone density. For men, the zinc and antioxidants support prostate health, reducing the risk of enlargement and inflammation. There's an equilibrium in these seeds that speaks to both genders. A reminder that what grows in harmony with the earth also creates harmony within us. But let's go deeper beyond vitamins and minerals to something more profound. Inside every living seed is energy, stored sunlight transformed into matter. When you consume it consciously, you are literally eating sunlight, energy captured and packaged by nature. That's why real food feels different from processed food. It's not just about calories, it's about life force. The closer you are to the original source, the stronger the signal your body receives. The right way to eat pumpkin seeds is simple, but it requires respect for that signal. Start with raw, unsalted seeds, preferably from organic pumpkins. Rinse them to remove dust or residue. Soak them overnight in clean water with a pinch of salt. This activates the seed's natural enzymes and reduces phytic acid. In the morning, drain and dry them on a towel. If you enjoy a bit of crunch, you can roast them at low heat. No higher than 160°C as 320 GF for 10 to 15 minutes. Anything beyond that, and you begin to destroy the very oils and antioxidants that make them so valuable. When you eat them, don't rush. Chew slowly. Let your saliva begin the process of digestion. It may sound small, but digestion starts in the mouth, and the more you chew, the more you allow your body to access what's inside. These small acts of awareness reconnect you with the intelligence of your own body. You can add them to salads, smoothies, oatmeal, or even eat a small handful before bed. The tryptophan in pumpkin seeds supports serotonin production, which the body converts into melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. So instead of turning to artificial supplements, your evening ritual could be as simple as a few soaked seeds that tell your body, it's time to rest. And here's something even more fascinating. Pumpkin seeds also contain compounds that support your body's natural angiogenesis, the process by which new blood vessels grow. Controlled angiogenesis is one of your body's key defense mechanisms against disease. Too much and harmful cells grow. Too little and your tissues can't heal. But these seeds help your body maintain that perfect balance, supporting repair without overstimulation. This is the elegance of food as medicine. It works in symphony. We not in isolation. We often underestimate the small. We assume that great health must come from great effort or expensive interventions. But nature never intended it that way. The human body evolved alongside plants, seeds, and natural foods. Our biology recognizes them instantly. When you eat this tiny seed properly, your body doesn't have to guess what to do with it. It already knows. It takes in the oils, converts them into cell membranes. It uses the minerals to fire electrical impulses in your nerves. It turns the amino acids into neurotransmitters that allow you to think, feel, and dream. Everything is connected. This connection is what modern life has dulled in us. We eat with distraction, scrolling screens, rushing through meals, and wonder why our bodies feel out of balance. But eating the right way is not just about the food, it's about the intention behind it. When you pause to prepare your food properly, when you engage with it fully, you activate more than your digestion. You activate presence. And presence itself has healing power. There's also a psychological transformation that begins when you shift your relationship with food. Instead of treating eating as a mechanical act, you begin to see it as self-care, as participation in your own vitality. That's when change truly begins to take root. The pumpkin seed becomes more than a seed. It becomes a daily reminder that small steps, when done consistently and mindfully, yield extraordinary results over time. Your body is not a machine that needs fixing. It's an ecosystem that needs nourishing, and nature has always provided what it needs. You don't have to search for miracles in pills or powders when they exist quietly in foods like this. The challenge isn't in finding what works. It's in learning to trust the simple things again. When you think about this tiny seed, think of it as a symbol. It represents the potential that lives inside you, the potential to heal, to renew, to grow stronger, to find balance. Every time you eat it with awareness, you're aligning yourself with the wisdom of nature itself. The power to transform your health doesn't come from something external. It comes from choosing, again and again, to honor what your body truly needs. And in that choice, transformation begins. Not overnight, not through shortcuts, but through the steady, nourishing rhythm of doing something simple the right way. The seed doesn't rush to grow. It trusts the process. And if you can learn to do the same with your food, with your health, with your life, you will discover that transformation isn't something you chase. It's something you awaken. When you start to see food not as a collection of calories, but as information for your body, everything changes. Every bite you take is a message. It tells your cells how to behave, your hormones how to balance, your immune system how to respond. That's why this tiny pumpkin seed, though small, carries enormous influence. It speaks directly to your body's intelligence. And when you eat it the right way, you're amplifying that signal, allowing your body to interpret it clearly and act in harmony with it. This idea that food is communication has been lost in modern times. We eat what's fast, what's packaged, what's designed to stimulate our taste buds rather than nourish our tissues. Yet our ancestors understood that food had energy, vibration, and purpose. They didn't have laboratories or research papers, but they had intuition. They observed what healed and what harmed. Pumpkin seeds, known across ancient cultures from Mexico to Persia to India, were revered not because of fashion, but because they worked. They supported fertility, longevity, vitality. Now, science finally explains what tradition already knew. These seeds are dense with plant sterols, natural compounds that resemble cholesterol in structure but act very differently. When you eat them, they compete with cholesterol for absorption in your intestines, helping lower LDL levels in your blood. The result is a natural balancing effect that supports heart health without medication. At the same time, the healthy fats in pumpkin seeds, particularly oleic acid, nourish the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels. They help those vessels stay flexible, reducing the risk of stiffness and blockages that can lead to heart disease. But the heart is not just a muscle. It's a living organ that responds to both physical and emotional states. Stress, tension, and anxiety can constrict your blood vessels just as much as an unhealthy diet can. The magnesium in pumpkin seeds helps counter that. It relaxes not only your arteries, but also your nervous system. It's a quiet whisper to your body saying, "You're safe." That's why people who eat magnesium-rich foods tend to sleep better, think clearer, and feel calmer. Nature has hidden these gifts in seeds because she knows healing starts small. And then there's tryptophan, that gentle amino acid found abundantly in pumpkin seeds. Your body converts it into serotonin, the neurotransmitter of happiness, and later into melatonin, the hormone of rest. The process is beautifully simple yet profoundly important. In a world where sleep disorders and anxiety are rampant, something as unassuming as a handful of seeds can begin to reset your inner rhythm. This is not magic. It's biology working the way it was designed to. Imagine a daily ritual. You wake up, soak a small bowl of pumpkin seeds in water, let them rest through the day, and in the evening, after draining and rinsing, you eat them slowly. Each bite releases the subtle nutty flavor, the oils gently coating your tongue, signaling satisfaction long before fullness arrives. You might notice something, an improvement in digestion, better focus, deeper sleep, calmer mornings. These are not coincidences. They're the natural outcomes of alignment between what you eat and what your body needs. There's also a subtle power in consistency. One seed doesn't change your life, but the daily act of choosing it, of honoring your health with intention, begins to reshape everything. You start to crave less of what harms you and more of what heals you. You begin to feel that your body is not an obstacle. It's your ally. The pumpkin seed, in all its simplicity, becomes a teacher. It reminds you that greatness doesn't always come from grand gestures. Sometimes it grows from quiet commitment. In every handful of these seeds are hundreds of micronutrients, tiny chemical messengers that strengthen your immune defenses. Selenium, manganese, copper, and phosphorus each plays its part in building enzymes that repair DNA, neutralize toxins, and support metabolism. Your body is a living laboratory, constantly creating and breaking down, renewing itself cell by cell. When you give it the right materials, the process flows smoothly. When you don't, the system struggles. Pumpkin seeds provide those materials in perfect proportion, designed by nature's chemistry, not human invention. Now, consider the gut again, the unseen center of your well-being. Inside it lives a world of bacteria that outnumber your human cells 10 to 1. This world determines how well you digest food, how stable your mood is, even how strong your immune system can be. The prebiotic fibers in pumpkin seeds feed this inner ecosystem, helping beneficial bacteria thrive while crowding out harmful species. It's as if each seed sends reinforcements to your internal army, keeping balance and order where chaos could take over. There's another fascinating layer to this. The oil within pumpkin seeds contains compounds known as delta-7 stearin and lignans, which have been studied for their ability to support prostate health and hormone balance. For men, especially as they age, this is significant. The gentle modulation of hormones by these natural compounds helps prevent overgrowth in the prostate and supports urinary health. Unlike synthetic interventions, which often overwhelm the system, nature's design works with precision and subtlety. It nudges, not forces. For women, the same lignans and phytoestrogens act like nature's harmonizers. They bind to estrogen receptors, providing gentle support during menopause or times of hormonal fluctuation. It's as though the seed knows how to adapt, balancing what's too low, calming what's too high. That's the intelligence of natural food. It doesn't just nourish, it teaches balance. But food's effect goes even deeper than chemistry. Every act of eating is an act of connection. You are taking something that grew from the earth, something that absorbed sunlight, air, and water, and merging it with your own body. It becomes you. The minerals in that seed become the minerals in your bones. The oils become the membranes of your cells. The energy becomes your vitality. When you realize this, food stops being just food. It becomes communion. And this awareness creates a ripple effect. Once you understand that something as small as a pumpkin seed can support your brain, heart, gut, and immune system, you begin to wonder what else nature has hidden in plain sight. You begin to approach food differently, with reverence rather than routine. You start to notice how certain foods make you feel alive, while others drain your energy. You start to see that your body is always communicating. It's just waiting for you to listen. The pumpkin seed becomes a metaphor for your own potential. Just as the seed holds an entire plant inside its shell, you hold inside you the potential for vitality, creativity, and renewal. But that potential only awakens when you nourish it correctly. Just as the seed needs water, warmth, and patience to sprout, your body needs care, consistency, and respect to thrive. Neglect it, and you wither. Honor it, and you bloom. Even science now tells us that your genes are not your destiny. They respond to your environment. What you eat, how you move, how you think, how you rest. Pumpkin seeds, eaten correctly, send signals that turn on genes of repair and protection while turning off those of inflammation and degeneration. That's the epigenetic power of food. It doesn't just sustain life, it shapes it. When you make something so small a daily ritual, you begin to experience the slow unfolding of transformation. Your digestion improves because the enzymes in soaked seeds ease the workload of your stomach. Your sleep deepens because of the magnesium and tryptophan. Your skin glows from the zinc and antioxidants that repair tissue and fight free radicals. Your energy stabilizes because your blood sugar stays balanced. These aren't isolated benefits. They're interconnected expressions of one truth. When your body receives what it needs, it knows exactly how to heal. And yet, there's something even deeper beneath all this, the way small rituals restore your relationship with yourself. When you prepare food mindfully, you shift from consumption to creation. You become an active participant in your health, not a passive observer waiting for external cures. You start to understand that transformation is not about control, but about cooperation with your body, with nature, with life itself. Think of how a seed grows. It doesn't push the soil out of anger, it expands gently, trusting the darkness before it reaches the light. Your health journey is no different. You don't need to fight your body. You need to nourish it so it can remember how to function the way it was designed to. The pumpkin seed is a reminder of that truth. It's patient, resilient, and intelligent, just like you. Every time you choose to eat it consciously, you're making a statement that your health matters, that you are worth the time it takes to care for yourself, that small choices add up to extraordinary results. You are choosing to become the gardener of your own body, planting habits that yield strength, balance, and longevity. It's easy to underestimate this kind of simplicity because the modern world has conditioned us to look for complexity, to believe that healing must come from something external, something high-tech or expensive. But nature has never charged a price for her wisdom. She gives freely through seeds and leaves, roots and fruits. The pumpkin seed doesn't advertise itself. It doesn't come in shiny packaging. Its value is hidden, just like its power, to be discovered only by those who take the time to look deeper. And perhaps that's the real message here. A transformation doesn't come from the loudest voices or the biggest changes. It comes from the quiet, consistent choices you make when no one's watching. It comes from the patience to soak your seeds, to chew slowly, to listen to your body's signals. It comes from the understanding that your health is not a project. It's a relationship. When you treat your body with care, when you honor the wisdom of nature, you begin to move from survival to vitality. You begin to experience what true energy feels like. Not the quick highs of sugar and caffeine, but the steady strength that comes from being nourished at the deepest level. You begin to trust yourself again, to trust that you can feel better, live better, and age gracefully, not by fighting your biology, but by aligning with it. This tiny seed, so easy to overlook, becomes a bridge between who you are now and who you could be. It becomes a symbol of what's possible when you stop underestimating the small things. Every seed you eat correctly is a step toward balance, resilience, and renewal. You begin to realize that you don't need to add more complexity to your life. You need to return to simplicity, to the rhythm of nature that has always sustained you. So when you hold this tiny pumpkin seed in your hand, remember, you're not just holding food, you're holding potential. You're holding a force of nature that knows how to heal, how to balance, how to restore. But that power only awakens when you choose to use it wisely, when you eat it with respect, with intention, with understanding. Your health doesn't transform through chance. It transforms through choice. Every seed you eat the right way is a vote for your future, a message to your body that says, I am ready to live fully, to heal deeply, to honor what nature gave me. This tiny seed carries the intelligence of the earth. And when you eat it right, that intelligence becomes part of you, calming your heart, sharpening your mind, strengthening your spirit. Because true transformation doesn't come from what's outside of you. It comes from awakening the power that's been inside you all along. So choose wisely, eat mindfully, respect the small things. Because sometimes it's the tiniest seed that holds the greatest secret to your health and to the life you were meant to live.